Well, hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday 1. As always, I am your host, Paul Turner. And so I hope you're having a great Wednesday. I'm having a great Wednesday so far. Lots of good things going on. And let's see, what do I have planned for tonight? I have a young person. This is like week number 5 or 6 that I've had a young person come in and share. And boy, they are crushing it. They're doing such a great job. I mean, it's a blessing when students stand up and do it. Look, I would rather feed into them and let them speak and share their heart than them to get up and listen to me. I mean, that's just my that's just my particular, Other people, they feel like that it's their job to preach, therefore they preach. They feel like the burden is upon them to share the message, and I don't necessarily. There are times when my heart does go out and says, yes, I want to share a message, and what I want to do with that is use those opportunities to go ahead and be passionate about that, whatever message God's laid on my heart at the time I need to share it. But I'm always sharing. It's not just preach Wednesday night. It's opportunity to share things all the time. We're always preaching in reality. We're preaching on social. We're preaching in the church. We're preaching on Wednesday. We're preaching wherever we go. And so for me, I know that kids are not having this opportunity. We have that opportunity all the time, maybe, but kids don't always get that opportunity. I think that's super critical that they get up to stand in front of their peers and share their heart. And yes, like I said, there's times when I'm going to share, but tonight is not one of them. One of our students, McKenna, she's going to crush it. She's going to do a great job, and I am looking forward to that. As far as games go, if you saw my video, the soap hockey, I hope you liked that, by the way. We had a lot of fun doing that. Tonight's going to be a little bit different because I only let 6 people on the field last time, which let the field be kind of open. Not as much interaction, but that's okay. In hockey, that's okay because you got the sticks. And of course, that was a little concern for me. But everything went well and nobody got injured or lost a tooth or anything like that. So tonight it's going to be the same field. We're going to play soap soccer. Soap the field and let them play soccer. Haven't decided if we're going to do crab style or regular style yet. Kind of leaning which way to go with that. I see some of you have jumped in here. Be sure to say hi. I would love to know who you are, where you're from. So go ahead and do a little of that for me. If you're brand new, thank you. Join me for joining me today. Appreciate you hanging out. Go ahead and let me know in the chat right there. Let me know who you are. I'd like to know where you are and where you serve. It could be the name of the church, or it could be what town or city you're in. Either way is fine for me, but I'd like to get to know you guys. Let's see. What else? Well, hey, Logan. How are you? Let's see. What else are we doing tonight? Including soap soccer, I think we might do... Hey, Sam. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining. Let's see, what else? Soap soccer. We're doing one of the ideas our students has, let's have a pizza. It's for points, so it's a pizza tasting contest. Like they want to, hey, John again. Walhalla, South Carolina. I want to say Valhalla. That would be so much cooler, wouldn't it, John, if you were from Valhalla, South Carolina? I think it would be. So we're going to do the soap soccer and we're going to do a pizza tasting contest. Now, I don't know why they want to do that. It doesn't matter to me. They want to do that. I was like, okay. So I guess it's a matter of guessing. Yeah. So I guess we're going to do that. They want to do pizza, and I think they're going to do French fry. I guess it's just for points, just something fun to do, and that is perfectly okay if that's what they want to do. We have our regular worship time tonight, regular worship that we're having, as far as I know. And that's about it, I think. I think we have a pretty good set going on. Next week will be super busy because we're going to have graduation Sunday, this Sunday. Next week will be actual graduation for my son. My son is graduating from high school. And it also falls on my birthday when I turn 50. How about that? Get to share my day with my son, and he gets to share his day with me. Isn't that amazing? So, so next week's, maybe we'll talk about something. We'll talk about staying around in ministry a while. We'll know. Who knows? Who knows whatever God will put on my heart. All right, so before I get into the content today, I'm glad that you guys are all in here now. I wanted to take just a few minutes to kind of warm up a little bit, let everybody get in here. What do you guys have planned tonight, by the way? Let's go and throw that in there. Do you have a game plan? Do you have something special? What do you have going on? I'd be interested in knowing what you're doing. I've shared what I've done, so I think it's only fair that you guys share what you have going on. That way I can steal all your cool ideas and throw them away. So throw them out into our thing. So you tell me, what do you got going on tonight? What's your game? What's your message, maybe? All that kind of good stuff. And then I will jump right into the content here. But I need to see some things. By the way, feel free to share. I think you can share this and say, hey, come on over here and visit my friend Paul. He's going to be talking about 7 ways to say no. And that'll be fun. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But I need to hear from you guys. I need to see a few things about what you guys are doing. So load that up in there, and I'll do a quick plug here before we get going. If you don't know, I did put this video up there the other day. I do have 2 devotion books, Psalms 1 and 2, from Psalms 119. And it's a 2-volume set. I hope that you will check it out. There will be a link down in the description below. And they are, 5 months worth of work of just exploring and praying through and reading through and just kind of getting a sense for the psalm. And it was a different way to read it. So, Sam, you see, you're finishing up a series on money tonight. All right. Good deal. Walk your eyes through creating a budget. Wow, that's important. That's critical. I'm doing that with I just recently did that, or my wife and I did that with my son. He's 23, I believe now. And so anyway, working that out with him. That's kind of important. So I'm glad you're teaching that to them now, Samuel. And that way, maybe they won't have to teach them when they're 23. All right, so that's my plug. That's that. And by the way, I do have a few extra copies a while ago, last year, I believe. Maybe earlier this year. I can't remember when I put it out. But I do have the Prepared for Impact book. So if you're looking for a good book on planning and strategy and really just kind of unlocking some keys to unlock your youth ministry, this is still on the website. So link for this will be down below as well. See, what's John doing? John is figure out different game for tonight other than I had planned. There's some flash flood warnings go on. So, okay. There you go. Fun inside. Or grab a canoe. Grab a canoe, John, and just let him go. Let him go. Let him go, man. Rapid racing. There we go. Rapid racing down in the flash flood warnings. That'd be a lot of fun, right? Maybe not so much. Parents would not think that was fun. They would not. They just like, off with your head. Okay, so that's it. So let's go ahead and jump into the 7 ways to say no. I saw something funny today, a funny version of this, if you want to see that. John Crist is a comedian, and I'll probably put the link down below as well to his website where he talks about the spiritual ways Christians say no. And it's really funny that I saw this in comparison with this, and none of this is my content. I'm contextualizing it for us. The content I'm going to be sharing today is from a guy named Larry Kim, at Larry Kim on Twitter. And for us, all right, John, for the lesson, very good. But I find that to be for us, as Christians, youth workers, pastoral people, we're sometimes not very good at saying no because we feel like we're supposed to say yes to everything because we're supposed to be servants. And I disagree with the premise. It's one thing if you tell God no. It's another thing if you tell people no. I think it's okay to tell people no, and because for various reasons. Because sometimes you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your own health. You have to take care of your own stuff here. And if you don't take care of yourself, if you're always saying yes, I don't see that working out very well. So let me give you a few things here. 7 ways to say no. John Crist, by the way, in his video, we spiritualize no. We say things, I'll pray about it. He goes through those various things. I'll pray about it. I don't feel led. Let me just start with this. If you're going to say no, let's not spiritualize it. Just say no. If you don't want to do something, just say, no, I don't want to do that. Or at least say, I'll think about it. Because, we can spiritualize it, and then we get to blame God for something that we don't really want to do. Let's just say we don't want to do it. I think that's just I think that's just fairness to the people around us, and say, I don't want to do that. Or I have something else planned, or I'm doing something else. I mean, let's be honest in our, Jesus said, in speaking of vows, by the way, in the right context, let our yes be yes and our no be no. I think our no should be no. If we don't want to do it, we don't want to do it. And we don't have to spiritualize it for the benefit of other people to make our no sound better, right? To make it sound like we're super spiritual about it. When in reality, we're not, and we just don't want to do that. Another one, John Crist, I have a check in my spirit. We say things, and I'm not debunking that. I'm not saying that's not wrong. I'm saying there are times when the Holy Spirit will do that, but I don't think it's about no to hey, do you want to go get pizza? No, I feel really check in my spirit that we ought to go get burgers, right? Don't do that. Or hey, somebody asks us whether we can help them move, and we say I just don't feel like that's my season of life right now. I don't feel like I'm in a season of moving. That's a lot of that's from John Crist. All right, let's get to the 7 ways to say no. Okay, number 1. To say no and get good at it, test every opportunity, right? What is the best opportunity? What is the opportunities in front of you? What is going to benefit? There's nothing wrong, by the way, with something benefiting us, right? I know we tend to be martyrs sometimes when we don't have to be, that we can test the opportunities. Which one of these things do I need to say yes to so that there's some win-win in it, right? You can say, well, look, if I do that, not only is this going to happen, but this is going to happen. If I do this, this person maybe only benefits. There are cases when you do that. Or there may be cases where you just have to say, the best opportunity is the one I need to take for myself right now. And so in saying no, be sure to test the opportunities. Which one is going to be, which on the spectrum of scale of what do I need in my life right now, and what is going to be beneficial to others? In that case, just weigh the opportunities, right? And say, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? The second thing is make auto responses that say no for you. See, when we get busy, or when we go on vacation, I should say, when we go on vacation, sometimes you can set your email to say no, right? It's like, I cannot answer your email right now. I'm on vacation. Set your email and say, I just don't want to answer emails this morning, right? That's a way of saying no. And saying, look, you can do your phone that way, right? You can take your phone and say, I'm going to go ahead and click the notification buttons off. You're literally saying no to being distracted at that point. Like, turn off I have I think I have all of my notifications turned off. So maybe Messenger is the only one I don't for Facebook. But in doing that, we're saying, look, we're going to say no to distractions. So turn off those things. Turn off put your phone on, airplane mode. If you don't want to be distracted by phone calls or by other things, you can, shut that down. You can do it through text. If you're like, listen, you're saying no. No, I'm doing something busy right now, right? Maybe that's devotions, sermon prep. Just, find ways to go ahead. That's ways of saying no without verbally saying no. So go ahead and just turn off your phone stuff, and you can say no that way. The third way is this: only attend meetings with a clear purpose. Now, some of that times in church world, in business world, in other worlds, there's plenty of times where you have to go to meetings that have nothing to do with you. And you're going to sit there and be like, but if it's optional, don't go to meetings that don't have a clear direction, and say no to things that say, I'm going to be busy at that time. And you will be, because you're going to make plans. But don't go to meetings with, now, once again, in church world, you have to go to staff meeting. There's really no choice in that. If you have a weekly staff meeting or a day, whatever day you have staff meeting on, where everybody gets together, all that kind of stuff. only attend meetings with a clear purpose. So if you know that you're going to a meeting that is somehow going to be beneficial in the area of knowledge, this includes, by the way, network meetings. This includes all the meetings you can get into. If you don't have to have a meeting, don't have one. I have monthly, or had, now that I'm leaving my position, I had once a month for the past 8 years a monthly youth worker meeting. And that was clearly beneficial to me, to them, and to our students, because I only did it once a month. We had it at my house, and we had dinner together, and we talked about life and all that kind of good stuff. So, say no to meetings that don't have a clear purpose, okay? And don't create meetings that don't have a clear purpose. Don't create more meeting time for yourself. The fourth thing is hire someone to say no for you. Now, if you have a secretary in your church, if you're a youth worker and you have a secretary, just have them hold your calls. That's just a way of saying no. No, I won't be interrupted by some salesman trying to sell me whatever it is. Or, unless it's an emergency, or, unless it's your pastor, right? So those things, tell your secretary to hold your calls if that's how your call system works. Hire somebody, you can get a virtual assistant. And there are virtual assistants who will answer your phone calls for you, and they'll handle your calls. And you can tell them, well, I don't want to talk to anybody that's not in this realm, or these are the 5 names I want to make sure that gets through. Here's the rest of the people that I don't necessarily need to talk to, or numbers that you don't need to talk to, okay? I'll take a break here before we go into the next 3 here. How are you guys at saying no? I'd like to hear that. Tell me real quick in the comments there. Tell me real quick, what is your ability to say no? Are you good at it? Are you not good at it? Are you using some of these tips? I'm going to give you the next 3 here in a second, but I want to hear some feedback from you guys. I'd like to know how good you are at saying no, or whether or not you feel compelled to say yes all the time to please other people. Sometimes that's the condition, right? Some people say yes all the time because they don't want to make other people mad, and they just don't want to. So I would love to hear your feedback. Tell me what your propensity for saying no is, okay? Are you good at it? Not good at it? All right, let's see, number 5, stick to the schedule. If you want to, listen, there's the old adage that if you don't fill your calendar, somebody else will fill it for you. And if you're on schedule, don't change your schedule. Because if you change your schedule, you are opening yourself up for more distractions. Your schedule, you're telling other people no, you can't crowd my calendar, okay? Yeah, sure, Sam. I mean, I understand that. Absolutely. If it's something you can do, then sure do it. But don't, my encouragement is don't sacrifice too much on your end. That's going to hurt you in the short term or long term. John, I understand that. I think too, by the way, if you say no convincingly enough, people will quit asking you to do things that you don't want to do. At least that's been my case. They just don't ask you anymore because, nope, he's not going to do that. So just say no, you're not going to do that. But in sticking to your schedule, you are telling people, no, I have a schedule. I have things I have to do. I cannot interrupt those things because they are critical to X, to interrupt or stop my schedule so that you can do it, which, by the way, the people that are asking us to do something may not be the best planners in the world. In other words, they're making us a part of their lack of preparation or lack of planning, and so they have to interrupt our day to make their day work. Now, I'm not saying we should say no all the time. I'm saying we have to weigh that. That's all I'm saying. We have to weigh that, and if you don't put it on Facebook, put it on social, put it on however you want to do it, put a note on your door. Say, look, I'm not available from 2 to 4. 2 to 4, I am involved in something, and I will simply not be between 2 and 4, I'm just not going to be available to answer any of your questions or anything because I'm going to be out or I'm going to be busy. Or, by the way, I'm going to have family time, right? So schedule, meetings, all that stuff is in relation to your relationships in your family. Don't rob your family because of somebody else's crisis. Now, once again, some things are necessary because you're a pastor and you're on staff, and some things you have to respond to. That's what happens. We respond to people who are broken and hurting and all those things. What we don't have to respond to, what I don't think we should respond to, is people who are in constant chaos and creating chaos for other people by their lives. In other words, we're not becoming enablers that I'm going to stop what I'm doing. Like, we're not saying the message like, I'm going to stop what I'm doing because you are in constant crisis. That's enabling them. We should say, listen, and this goes for kids too, by the way, students who will do that. And we have to be aware, and we have to be able to discern those things, right? Allow the Holy Spirit to discern those things. At which point, when do we need to respond to those things? So work in uninterrupted blocks and say, I'm just not available from 6 to 8 p.m. That's family time. 6 to 9 or after 9 o'clock, you say, I'm doing family time. I'm putting my kids to bed. You set that for yourself. You can create that. You can say no as often as you want to say no. And as long as we can be kind and we can be gentle and we can be all those things. We're just simply saying, I'm not available, right? I'm not available for those things. And the last thing, the number one is practice turning people down. In other words, get into a practice of saying no so that people know you, right? They say, Paul's not going to give up his schedule because that's important unless there's an emergency. Paul's going to weigh his opportunities. Paul's going to, got other people to help with this, right? We have to practice, though, doing that. Otherwise, we say, well, what if we offend people? Well, we offend people. There's no way around that. I'm sure, I don't know people that do this all the time, but there are people who live in a constant yes zone who then, by the way, become bitter and become resentful of the people that demand so much of them. And I think if you say no and getting good at practicing saying no, you are turning off or you are short-circuiting Satan's ability to make you bitter and angry and resentful at these people, because these are not the people who are going to say thank you all the time. These are not the people who are going to thank you for canceling your thing or doing this or doing that. These are the people who are going to just possibly suck you dry, and you're not going to be able to, you're going to get to a place where you're in constant meeting needs mode instead of taking care of yourself and taking care of the things that are super important to your life, like your family, your education, the students in your ministry, your personal time with God. All those things are very valuable, and you have to get into a practice of doing that so that other people can determine what they can ask you and what they can't ask you. You set the limitations. If you're just wide open all the time, people are going to take advantage of that, and that's where we get the danger of becoming bitter or resentful of those situations. But that's it, guys. Those are my seven things here. We've got about 7 minutes left. I'll be happy to answer any questions about anything I've talked about, or I'd be happy to answer any of your youth ministry questions. If you have some youth ministry questions, I am wide open to them if you are interested in sharing. Some things that I'm doing, by the way, while you're thinking about this and you're asking questions, I could use your prayer, by the way. Use some prayers for this. I'm about to send out some packets to some leaders introducing myself and saying, hey, I'm Paul, and I like to do youth ministry. And so I would love to come be a part of your organizations, anything, camps, retreats, all that kind of stuff. So I would ask that you would pray over that and simply say, hey, I'm going to throw up a prayer for Paul because he's about to engage with some people who may or may not need his services or may not need his direction or whatever counsel or whatever that is. So I could surely use some of your prayers. So feel free to leave a comment if you will commit to saying, Paul, I'm going to pray for you for this next coming week when you're going to mail that stuff out. Because we're getting down to, in about 2 days, I'm going to mark down the 60-day mark. When I'm leaving, 60 days from the day that I'm going to leave, I'm going to be in hurry up mode, and I'm going to try to book every Sunday, every Wednesday I can for the fall. So, and if I can help you and serve you in any way, be sure, because I'm going to leave all those in the community tab, right, on the channel here. If you do that, you'll check there in 2 days. I'm going to put my whole schedule, which is not full right now. It's I think I have 2 weeks that I'm going to go down to Vero Beach, Florida to go speak at a camp down there. So I have those 2 weeks. Then I have one other thing possibly coming up. After that, September, October, November, I am wide open on Wednesdays and Sundays, and I'm hoping that the calendar will fill up. And if you can use me to bring me in to speak for a retreat or for a training for your youth ministry, any of those kind of things, let me know, okay? And since I'll be in Florida for those 2 weeks, if you happen to be in the Florida area and you say, Paul, can you drop by? Can you come by for a little while? Can you, on your way back through, can you stop here or there? Because I'm going from Vero Beach back up to Alabama. Thank you, John. Appreciate it, buddy. I definitely could use a prayer, so I'm excited about it. Of course, it's nerve-wracking a little bit. It's not too bad, but I'm enjoying the vibrancy that a new challenge brings. I am somebody who needs new challenges to stay engaged and stay alive and stay bright and stay clear. I love that kind of stuff. And so that's kind of my wheelhouse, is to be able to do that. So if I'm preaching in a place I've never preached, I love it. If I'm trying to handle some new challenges for a church or a youth ministry, I love it. So please do that. So enough of me. Like I said, we got about 4 or 5 minutes. I'm ready to take your questions if you have any. Videos coming up next week, by the way. I got some good ones. I have this new series I'm doing called Table Talk. And it is a new way, I think, of engaging some new ways of engaging in small groups. So I'm excited about this opportunity. So if you do small groups and you want another way to engage, I think I have some ideas. So we're going to do that. All right, Q&A. Anything youth ministry related, church related, growth, spiritual growth related, I can do that stuff. So, like I said, I'll just give you guys just a couple minutes. Let's see. Do you plan on staying a member at your current church or heading somewhere else? I'm planning to stay at my current church. This is the first time, John, that I've ever done this in the history of all the churches I've been in. This is the first time that I'm going to do that, because I feel like at this point I really need a base church to be a part of. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to go to other churches or be at other places. That simply means this is going to be a base church for me, because I love our students that are there. I'm not going to participate in the way I used to. I'm going to stay out of those things. I said I'll be happy to drive a bus. I'll be happy to do some small part if I can. But as far as leading the organization and that kind of stuff, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to leave that to the people that needs to be left to. But I am going to stay at the church. So yeah, because I do not sense at this time or point in my life, I do not sense to go and be, I'm not leaving for another position. I'm not leaving for those things. I'm leaving for reasons that I sense that, that I know that and all the reasons I've said before why I've done it. You guys who watched the video, but really for the new challenges, for the new things that I'm going to get into. I think I have to let go of what's in one hand to receive what God has in the other, and the only way to do that is to simply do that. So, but I do plan on staying based in the church there, because they're good kids, and I feel like after 8 years of hanging around, I think I need to hang around a little bit longer. So, that's it. Any other questions? Any other things you'd care to ask that I can serve you in any way? Because I'm going to wrap it up here. Keep it to about 30 minutes. I like the 30-minute format. Is that good for you guys, by the way? Feel free to comment about that. If you like the fact that I'm just on for about 30 minutes, I'm not going to go longer than I absolutely necessary. I'll answer questions as I need to and present something hopefully helpful to you guys that will help you in your walk with Christ, with your job, with your family, something that will be, practical for you guys. All right. Well, I'm not seeing any other questions come up, so I'm going to leave it at that, and close out with the fact. Don't forget. What would be your go-to song for a graduation slideshow? Well, that's a good question, John, because in years past, I have a blog post, which I'll put a link down below as well, for graduation songs. So I'm going to go to my own website here. If you go to thediscipleproject.net, I think I have multiple years for that, and I think I have links to all the songs. But if you look under graduation, if you go to the search bar, which is a little bit ways down when you scroll down, there are... This is the first year I'm not doing a graduation thing, by the way, as far as a slideshow. I only have two people, a guy and a girl. One of them's my son. We're not going to do a big slideshow thing, okay? But the one here is I have 10 songs to spice up that 2017 graduation slideshow. That's from 2017. Let's see, 10 songs for Grad Sunday. That's from 2016. So I have the last 2 years, I think, maybe 2 to 3 years of 2 to 3 years of songs that you can choose from there. I don't know what I have for this year. I don't think I have any because I'm not using them, so I'm not tuned into it. It may be worth exploring, but it's a little late, I think. So, all right, that is it, guys. I thank you guys so much for hanging out, being a part. Be sure, by the way, if you enjoy this video, if you enjoy the live Wednesdays at 1s that I'm doing, please hit the thumbs up button. That's when you like the video and you want more of them. Of course, feel free to share the video with your networks, things like that. And just be aware that lots of good things are coming on and coming up on here on the channel. And if there's any way I can be able to, minister to you guys and love on you guys a little bit, let me know. I'd be happy to do so. All right, that's it, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.